Well, morning. I'm just going to wait for a couple of minutes. Just everyone had a pleasant day yesterday, national holiday. Okay, good morning. Bit quiet. A lot of people gone away. You know, when you get a Thursday holiday and a Monday holiday, they might as well knock off on Friday as well, sort of thing. I think a lot of guys disappeared on Wednesday, so it's fairly quiet in here today. I expect to be fairly quiet going forward. Remember, this doesn't affect the world. It's pure South Africa. It's not like it's Easter or Christmas. It's not an international thing. It's a local thing. Okay, well, I think May Day's a worldwide thing. Certainly is in the UK anyway. Did you? I had a pretty lazy day as well. Yeah, I must have been a little bit guilty about it. I should have done more with it, to be honest. Anyway, I didn't. So, yeah, anyway, not a problem. Okay, morning all. Anyway, yeah, so I've got a trade, but before I get the trade idea out, it was already sent out, so you probably noticed it whether you want acted or not. Right, I've got NZD-JPY. It looks like it's heading towards the 100-day moving average. And I think if that 100-day moving average can hold, I think that could be a possible pullback. Sell, in other words. That's just an idea I've come up with, around about this sort of level here. We want a confirmation, maybe if we get up another 10 or 15 pips, come off a bit, and then we get a sell. We're going to put the stop up here somewhere, and a TP down here, and we should get a decent risk reward. As long as we get there and it does confirm, I think it's a possibility of a short coming up on that one. What do you guys think? That's my opinion. I'll just have a quick look at the weekly for you. Yeah, more or less the same. These guys seem to be holding. We can put the stop up above the weekly, can we? We can put it above the weekly 50-week average. That's fine. And the 4-hour, somewhere up this sort of level here. Yeah, we can put it up. The 4-hour should hold it. So, yeah, as you see at the moment, if it comes off, it's still going up. So it seems to be heading for that kind of direction here. It's not just the moving average, previous body highs, not wick highs, but body highs there. So, yeah.
Hi, Roger. Morning. I was thinking of doing it for a buy just after it closed above the 100. Take it up and have a look and see where the next resistance is round about there.
Yeah, well, if that breaks through, how shall I say, completely different ball game. Completely different ballgame. If that 100 doesn't hold, it doesn't come off. Look for the short, like I mentioned. However, if it does go through, I will change my tune and say, looks like it fell on to go up. Let's try here. All right. The only thing is on the fundamental front, clearly the Japanese did not raise interest, which they can't because their debt's too high. So sticking 0.1%. Can you believe it? Oh, can you imagine borrowing money at 0.1? It's like free money. So they're looking to do something about the long-term bonds, which could strengthen it. They've got something going on at the moment, which they're going to face and do something about, which is the long-term, called the inverted yield curve. You often hear it being talked about on, Money Web or whatever. So I think it might be worthwhile, if you don't know what that means, well, it's not very complicated, by the way. It's pretty straightforward. What it means. Do you know what it means, Farley? Because we don't, I presume some of the others don't either. We've got an inverted yield curve. A negative yield curve, if you like, inverted negative yield curve.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I'm not too sure the definition for it 100%. My take on it is basically ensure that the guys spend all their money and don't put it in the banks.
No. Now, what it basically means is this. You get in a situation which caused a lot of problems with the banks in the US and worldwide, where the long-term interest rates come off to such an extent that they are now lower than the short-term interest rates. As you can probably imagine, that's no bloody good at all. Finally, I'm going to make you a good investment idea for you. Invest your money for 5 years in fixed deposit, and you'll get less return than if you fix it for 6 months. Do you think that's a good investment idea?
No.
Well, no, clearly not. It's definitely not. Clearly rubbish idea, that. Roger, you can get in your bike and go, mate. That's a ridiculous piece of advice. Well, that's what's happening. So they're going to have to do about it. It's inverted. Remember gilts? What the president of the year, Bank of Japan, BOJ, does is they look at that as part of monetary policy, where they start buying up to force the interest, selling off long-term bonds to force the interest rate up, so it becomes a more long-term positive yield curve. That can end up, as a matter of fact, relieving on some of the long-term debt and strengthen the Japanese yen. So in the short term, we've got a little bit of a weakening in the yen, because the dollar's looked a little bit stronger because it looks like, so I'm getting background, but this stuff, I think, is so much a big player in what's happening now, it's worth knowing. So a slightly increased in inflation. Not a CPI has come out, just overlooking it. The inflation's not quite in control the way the Fed likes it. So you've had a little bit more of a strength of the dollar, because it's now almost no guarantee, by the way, but very, very highly regarded, based in 0.25% rise next Wednesday, which, plus we've got the non-farms come Friday, don't forget. But more the talk now, that's almost a given 0.25% increase. They're talking about now it could possibly be another one in June. That's why we had a little bit looking at maybe a bit of stronger dollar. And that's why I've had a bit of a weakness in the short term of the Japanese yen. I just don't think that can be sustained, because you can't have a situation with that inverted yield curve, like I mentioned. So that was certainly something to be done about it. So I'm thinking that 100 is going to hold. If it does hold and come off, we could get quite a decent strength of the yen. We don't want to jump in too quick too soon. Probably have to wait in to maybe take advantage into next week. But it's just something to just chuck out there to bear in mind. And if I forget, I don't think I will, but just in case, somebody to remind, like yourself, Barney, or whatever, to have a look at it again, we might be able to take advantage of it, because we could get some good, decent buying on the yen on it, selling the opposite currency. So on that basis, we'll wait and see. Keep an eye on. I've got it written down. Keep an eye on. And if it can get to around about these levels, 83.50, so 20 odd pips away, that's not good enough. It's got to come off. So we might not get into that price. It's got to maybe slightly lower price. Once it's come off, we can stick the stop up here somewhere, and TP down here or whatever. Have to get a risk reward, etc., and take it from there. Okay. Right. I want to go forward. I'm thinking of implementing slightly wider stops, because I'm seriously, excuse my language, I'm going to say it anyway, pissed off about the CHF JPY. It stopped everybody out, and look what happened. Shot up. One stage was 75 above, so it had been over 70 pips in profit. So it did a nice job of stopping everybody out, and then it shot back, and it would have been a great trade, as it turns out. So looking back, we should have had a stop maybe 100 pips away at 149 level. We'd have still been on board. It flirted, but even there, we'd have still been on board. Maybe scratched below it, maybe 10 pips or so below the round figure. Still been on board. We'd have had some profit now. So that's highly, highly irritating. So I'm thinking, you guys can have your opinion as well. It's a family, it's a trading family, if you like. It's a forum. We discuss democratically with our hopefully newfound knowledge that maybe going forward slightly wide. I'm not talking the EJS one, I'm talking about the normal ones. Because we should be on board, we should have been stopped out, we should have had a wider stop looking back. I think 60 pip was just too tight. I'm slightly annoyed, and I'm highly fed up with the guys who actually, including myself, but I'm worried about me. You guys have took a knock at it and should be in a fat profit on that. So maybe we stick to wider stops, simple as that. That you don't need this sort of carry on to knock you out. Does that make sense? Yeah, so anyway, moving along from that, putting that behind, AUD CAD, is that anything?
Sorry, Roger.
Yeah.
What if we decide, maybe due to the fact that the yen is so volatile, all the yen trades, whatever we do, make a stop loss of, say, 120 pips? Because I've been knocked out a couple of times on the USD JPY as well, a hell of a lot of times. You remember that previous ones that turned around so low?
Yeah, I remember them well, but it shouldn't be stopped out. I remember those two because I was in there and it flirted my stop loss on 2 occasions, came in 5 pips, and then it bounced and hit the TP on 2 occasions about a month or so, maybe 6 weeks ago, wherever it was. Yeah, I do. But that being said, I'd rather you went for a smaller position size and a wider stop. Yeah, I'm much more lean because it's hell of an irritating to be knocked out and then it hits the target or at least goes nice into profit. Absolutely. It's the only downside with that. We might encourage people to put some more money in their account. A lot of guys in small figures won't be able to take those trades because the stop being wider means that they won't, even on a micro, they won't have enough money to go in. But I'm trying to get people, now they're getting more confidence and understanding, to understand what I mean, that you need to have a balance to play with. You need to have capital. And if people can't grasp that concept, I honestly wonder if this is the right business to be in. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't have to have lots of money, but you've got to be able to diversify. When you've got small amounts of money, half the trades you can't take because you'll be overexposed. And even then, when you do, you haven't got enough money to go for a second one. So all your eggs in one basket. And I'm convinced that to me is not exactly complicated. But I still think some people are not grasping that. Maybe it's through fear or I don't know, whatever. Or embarrassed to say you've got to wait to the end of the month. Because I know a lot of people don't have a lot of disposable income. The economy situation we're in. I get that. But still, you've got to have the tools to do the job. One of those tools, you need a capital. And I say, I'm not trying to sneak, don't come to me the money, I'm just for your sake. You've got to have the capital to be able to do the job. You want to go on holiday, right? You want to go down to the Cape on holiday, you just squeeze in the flight down there, but when you get there, you're down there for a week, and you've got 300 or 400 rand to spend, well, you might as well stay at home, you haven't got enough capital to enjoy yourself. Same with the business. And try and get that concept across. Okay. But that being said, I'm leaning towards just what I mentioned there. I think I've got to back up from yourself. Why stops? Because we should be in that JPY. That's a great trade, and we should be knocked out of it. And a 60 pip stop, I'll take responsibility and blame for that. It was too tight, right in hindsight, but I can do that. Even if it's below the low at 60 pips away, go a wider stop, smaller position size, because 60 pip noise is really irritating. Because that was a good trade. Yeah. And they'd say that Nzuzo was knocked out on that as well. And a lot of people were. And they should have been made in a profit. So highly fed up on that one. So we'll adjust that in future. If you want to disagree on the position size calculator, you want to do a tighter stop for whatever reason, that's fair enough. That's your choice. But I think I'm going to push for a hard wide anyway. AUD CAD has been hell of a slow, but now it's trying to move in the right direction. The Euro GBP was doing okay-ish. Now it's a bit disappointing. Euro GBP, wasn't it? Euro GBP. GBP. Where's this one? Now it's disappointing. It's been doing pretty well. It's been sitting around only a few pips profit for the last several days. I forgot when we got in now. I think it was on Tuesday. Euro GBP. Yeah, that was on the 26th, you know, 28th. Wednesday. We were on Wednesday on that one. Okay, yeah. And that was hovering profit most of the time. Now it's popped down. But like I've said before, I'm trying to get people to understand, you've got your strategy. You're still in it. Where's the stop loss? 91.20. Where's the stop loss? 91, you dickhead, wrong one. Yeah. 87.82. So your stop loss, why? You know, you worked out your position volume size, calculator volumes. You worked out your volume because you calculate hopefully correctly now. So, you know, stick around with it and see if that area there holds. So someone else might put their hand up and say, hang on a minute. If you like the trade still and it's getting a better price, what about an entry now? Well, yeah, I would agree. I mean, I'm not going to say shame the money's come off 15 pips, so it's a sell. That's when you go to emotional trading panic drop. That's not the way to do it. I still see the upside. And if you look at a 1 hour chart, you see it seems to be holding there, trying to anyway. So there might be some, it might drift back to the round figure. I don't know. But you're getting a 20 pip cheaper than the actual signal. So if you're not in that one, maybe look to buy it. You can use the same SL and TP as on the signal, get your signal, look at it, put it in the calculator, and then you'll see your risk reward there. Okay. That's interesting what you just said there. That's interesting. So I look at the chart, not looking at what you're saying there. Just read this out. I've been maintaining 100 pip stop on some of the trade, maybe it didn't TP. Maybe for those that decide to take the trade, reduce the lot size. That's what I've just been talking about. And I'm afraid if you've been doing already, that's pretty good. There we are. Marley's agreed with that as well. So yeah, we hang around with decent sized stops, and I said, because of the wider stops, you reduce the position size. And if you haven't got enough money, well, you're going to miss out the trade or put more money in. Like I mentioned, each time we come together, people trying to trade with a very small undercapitalized sum, can't diversify, all eggs in one basket, and limited what trades they go into. It's not a recipe for success. In capitalism, like everything else, you need capital. That's why you heard of venture capital. Companies come up with great ideas, and they haven't got the capital to go and see a venture capitalist to take a share in the company because they believe in it and help them grow that capital and grow the company. Without it, they can't. Same principle. Okay, so yeah, I think that's what I'm feeling strong on. I just need a little bit of a tip over the edge. Marnie, Farley, agreed, and it rhymes. So the rhyming, Farley, Marnie, I agree. So we'll do that 100 pips, whatever. I think that's probably a better idea. Give yourself the stop a break. And going back, because I've been shouting about it so much, you know, keep the stop loss not too close when you're modifying, and then why not stick the same principle on going in? So coming back to clarify, if you go 100 pips stop, once it gets to a decent profit, you have to modify and keep it 100 pips behind. You can get it a bit closer than that, but please don't get it close in 20, 25 pips. 20 pips, absolutely close. It's probably 25, 30. If you're still scared, either half your position, you can take your profit, or you can just close the damn thing rather than put a 10 pip stop in, because you can lose 10 pips and bring your profit down. You're up 80, put a 10 pip stop. You might be lucky most of the time. Instead of making 80 pips, you make 70, because again, the noise is going to knock you out. High probability. It's not exact, not 100% like anything else, a high probability. So work with that principle. I'm happy with that. So if you want Euro GBP, you got the signal, use the same SLTP, get your calculator out, you all got it now. And then if you haven't, tell me, well, if you haven't, obviously go to live chat, go to technical support and get it. If you can't work out the calculator, well, I can't help. So you can then work out your risk on that one, use the same SLTP and get a better price. Okay, hope that's all clear. Right. I was looking at say NZD. Oh yeah, GBP CHF. Look, I don't stump anybody still in that one. We had a fabulous trade out. I think we had a bit of a bounce now. I'm looking where we can get another one on this one. If you're a bit scared to rejoin again, I wouldn't blame you. Maybe on more confirmation or something. But let's see if we can get the stop up here. Talk about why the stops. Almost exactly what was mentioned by Farney, 120. We put it right up there. We're talking 112 on this one. The only problem is we've got to find at least a 200 pip movement. So if we do that, where's 200 pips? That's ridiculous. We're on the weekly now, remember? Yeah. Yeah, we can do it. We can take it. Can we take it down to this one here? So if you like the look of this one, we can squeeze one in, or do you think, let's go back to daily, let's look back to the 4-hourly. It's a bit consolidating, it's trying to break through here. What do you think? Do you think we're jumping the gun a bit on this one, get a better price or whatever? There's a wide stop, but I think I'm still keen on buying the Swiss franc against anybody currency, except the rand. I'd buy the rand against the Swiss franc because Cyril Ramaphosa promised us good things going into the new year. So maybe buy the rand against the Swiss franc, but otherwise I'll be buying the Swiss franc. Shame. Shame, I'll be a little bit. Should be nasty. Don't be nasty, Roger. What do you think? Do you think we should wait a bit? I'm on the sort of looking for a short, but I'm a little bit of a slightly. Maybe we should wait. I don't want to miss it, but I don't want to jump in too quick. Don't go in if you're already in them. I think most of you guys are out anyway. What do you think?
I think I will wait until it reach 1.1200 and then
What, the round figure?
yeah,
around-
and then run a short or a sell.
This is called neuroengineering. Neuroscience. There we are. That's not quite still. I can't. I never make a surgeon. I'm one pip out. That's not good enough. Okay, but never mind. I'm not a surgeon. I'm just a little simple trader, so I have to do. Okay, so it hits there. We're in. But wait, obviously, to see if it gets the pullback. If it gets that far, I'll probably attack this guy and then come off. Okay. Anyone want to go in now with a stop above all the moving averages in case we miss it, or do you want to go in a small one now? And if it gets back up there, add to it, or do you want to wait? These are sort of questions you must learn to ask yourself. Okay, newer guys are learning. I get that. But some of you guys have been in here a while. Ken's obviously been around himself. Marman is obviously pretty quick on the uptake. Brad's been around. Yuli's been around. You know, the guys are getting there. And Tony's been around. Marius has been around. So what do you think, guys? Part now, part later. Wait later on. Go the whole lot now with a wide stop. What do you think? Wait for now. Good enough. Come on, guys. This is a forum. Not just me and Farney. Although Farney is getting paid 20 grand a month, to be fair. But you guys aren't. I know, so to be fair, yeah. Not even from a certain Mr. Murray on that one.
What is, sorry, you see that at 8:30, the
Yeah.
retail sales year on year of the Swissy was less than what they expected. And so I'm just worried that the Swissy will reduce in strength somewhat.
Yeah, but it's less inflationary. It might, but I still think we go for the 0.25% next week when it's coming out. Yeah, it could be. And it has been given as a 2-star, not a 3-star. And remember, you've got to remember, I hear you, but the money in Switzerland isn't from retail. It's from high net worth individuals and institutions keeping their money there out of the way of the taxman in Europe, the East, and wherever, you know, in America, whatever. And that's what the Cayman Islands and Zurich and all these guys are about. There's literally trillions of dollars in high net individuals sitting outside the taxpayers' grabby little hands, you know what I mean? And as I say, it's not all about cuckoo clock Switzerland, it's about the loans of Zurich. And yeah, maybe that's had a little bit of a movement on it, but I think it's going to be sustained. They got the stability of that lovely, lovely, lovely money sitting there.
No, it's true. I agree with you. I'm just also concerned about the 60 or 600 billion dollars that was removed out of the Swiss bank in the last 3 weeks. So that all that contribute. That's why I like the Swiss, make no mistake, but I'm a little bit cautious. Sorry to give you my part of it.
No. I want it. And I agree with you. But look at this. That's 100 pips. It's gone up. Do you not think it might be something to do with the pound? Do you not think some of that might have been discounted into the market by now? And let's look, when did this come out? That's a good idea. Hang on. What time did it come out? 8:30, right? What's the time? That's in an hour later. So go to a 15-minute chart. What reaction did it have? See, it had a bit of a jump. Is that correct? What's this time now? 45, 30, 15, 9. That's about, let's just put this, might make my life easier. There we are. Actually, in fact, it came down a bit, didn't it? So it strengthened a bit in the Swiss franc. Then for maybe this fast asleep over there, and they only just woke up around about 9 o'clock to get to their desks. Because they're similar time to us, you know, they're not them GMT +2 like we are. And when they got the spot market trades got their desk, that's probably where they got the sudden jump from. Only 20 pips before it came off a bit. Look at that. So it hadn't had that much effect. See my point?
Yes, I see it. I see it. I haven't looked at the 15-minute. Thanks for that.
Yeah. So that's what I'll look at short term. What effect? It might be delayed. I think the delay was the guys who come to their desk. It's like 3:30, you see more action. If the spot traders come, the guys awake, not the futures around the world. It's the guys waking up and come to their desk in the United States, and you get more action. Okay.
Which is true, but the European and British markets opened at 9 o'clock our time.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's see, that's why you got the jump on the 15 minutes. See? 9 o'clock. And there's only 20 pips. And look, the sellers came in 15 minutes later anyway. So not much action there. So I don't think that's a cause of concern. I still stick with the pound being weaker and it's in the sell zone. Yeah, might get the round figure, might not. Anything happening on the 15 minutes? No, siding around. So we'll wait on that one. Most people see the wait in it, get a better price, we'll sell it down. Okay. The other one was the NZD-JPY. I didn't discuss that one. I can't remember. Another one I thought was a possibility. Oh, yes, right, we did. And you thought if it breaks 100, we'll get it. We'll wait to see if that holds. But at the moment, it seems to be being drawn to that area, it's consolidating. So we can't make a decision yet. We've got to see if it's going to get out of that to the upside or the down. I think some Japanese yen strength will come in, but whether it be today or not, I'm not sure. But I'm looking to get some advance that Japanese, because that converted yield curve I mentioned. It's not just me saying that, by the way. It's the big talk on Bloomberg on it, saying it could strengthen. I mean, you know, they're like these guys. They say it could bring back the dollar yen back to 120. Well, we shall see. They like to throw that out because they like throwing out long-term stuff because then it's forgotten about if they're wrong. That's why there's so few programs on short term, because that's really putting your head on the block. But long term, because then, you know, if you're right, you're a miner. If you're wrong, they're forgotten. Clever, eh? Right. And gas just, yeah. Look at it, just can't get going. Like a snail race, that, isn't it? WTI's hovering a bit. We got it out at, I think, 75.15-ish area, hovering a bit. I think we got in a bit earlier. Looks like, yes, on Wednesday, I think, the trade, but still looks like we might get some upside. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, let it run for the time being. Euro GBP, I mentioned, if you want to take it and you're getting a better price, if you want to take it around about these levels of the 15-minute, seems to be trying to hold there. We'll see. If you're already in, leave it alone. Hopefully it'll come right. And the AUD CAD I did mention, not much happening, but it's trying to do something. It's not this out there. So a little bit of profit. You should be in the NAS, by the way. You mentioned it. I was stopped out in a profit on the sudden jump on the earnings coming out of profit areas. A lot of guys now think it might be some moving back to 13.5 now. We've all gone in. But I'm not so convinced of that, to be honest. So I've gone in again, and the last two or three probably up for even before, am I? Yeah, slightly a profit, not much. Then we'll see how that goes. Okay, good enough. All right, so there it is. Probably fairly quiet today. If the NZD JPY comes right, or the GBP CHF comes right, I'll probably send it out before lunchtime. I think going after lunchtime, sort of going to 1, 2 o'clock, we're getting near the weekend. It might be a situation, just leave it to this one till Monday. We've got a few out anyway, and take it easy. No, hang on, that's usually not Monday, sorry, Tuesday. Because entering new trades late on Friday afternoon, and with a close on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, a 3-day close, quite a lot. So If we don't get anything out by midday, I don't think I'll be, well, I'm pretty damn sure I won't. It's got to be a real beaut, which I can't see happening at the moment, for me to get any out later on today. So if we find it this morning, it looks good enough, we'll get them out. We agree together. Otherwise, wait till Tuesday. I think that's fair comment. Hope you feel the same. Newer guys, just always remember. Oh, did you? Oh, well done. See, people do their own back means they're getting confident. You do your own trade without relying on signals. That's good. Hope they come right. But the point is, I'm not talking they come right or wrong. It means it's getting the confidence to learn, find your own trades. You always need to train on backup support. I need you guys. Same sort of principle. But it's good to have it where you're not totally reliant, which you will be at first. That's quite understandable. But you're going to be able to spread your wings, down the line after a month or two, where you can say, all right, I can analyze a trade, agree, disagree, go for it, or find my own, or even suggest them. Suggest them, put up and say, well, do you want the euro dollar? Let's go for it. Oh, hang on, thanks very much. And then good idea. That sort of thing. All playing the game together, not just. It's a not team sport, right? It's not really individual and have your own, but it can be a sort of team where we, try and help each other. I really take it seriously if the trade goes out, it's like CHF JPY, especially a good one, and the stop too close and get stopped out. It really pisses me off. I'm not for my sake, I'm talking about for the trader's sake. I want to turn around and say, I like your trades, Roger, not Christ, they're rubbish. Go on, go for it.
Sorry, the PCE announced this afternoon at 2:30 from America.
Yeah.
Do you think it will be have quite some effect?
Good question. I was going to say, what do you think it's going to be? And I would say, hang on, fine, I don't know. I'm glad you understand what effect. Personal consumption expenditure, it's reasonably important. It ain't PPI, it's certainly not CPI, but it does tell you what the guys are buying. Are they buying more, basically, in a nutshell? And it will have a bit of effect, yeah. Don't panic on it unless it's outrageously differently expected. And lately they expect an actual being pretty close, generally speaking, lately anyway. But if it's outrageously different, it could have obviously some effect. But I don't think it's going to be a panic job. No, the other thing, I'm not going to go that way. PC's coming out later on. But yeah, we'll have a bit of effect. It's a 3-star, yeah. Okay. Anyway, well done, Tom. But yeah, good stuff. Yeah. Talking about there.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine. US dollar, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that to me, keep an eye on it. You're doing fine. Talk yourself on it. But I think now that's going to get a situation where not till Tuesday, but I think going into next week, I think we're going to start with that as a sell. It's going to be nicely overcooked. It's going to be the neutral. We can sell it. And I really strongly believe on Wednesday, we're going to get an increase of 0.25%. And although it's a lot of it will be expected, so it's largely discounted, but it will have a little bit of a strength, not doing one way around it, strength of the dollar. But after that sort of announcement, I personally think, seeing how that occurs, it might go up as much as that. I'm not sure it will do. It's a bit of resistance here. We can get it at a decent price somewhere along there, the yen. I think we look to the reason I just gave earlier on, maybe start buying the yen and selling it. And we'll have a look anyway. The dollar still ain't that strong, despite the move up lately. It's still languishing compared to what it was a month or two ago. So the yen, enjoy the long, but I'm not sure we're going to last forever. It might get a 136 or even better. Hope for you it will, and hope for me it will, or hope for us it will, because you'll get more money out of it, and if you're already in there, and we'll have a better price to set it down to make another drop on the way down. So it's had a bit of a jump, so be careful. This is only, 10 hours old today. It's already jumped 250 pips. So be a little bit careful. There might be some sellers coming in after a big move like that. So I don't know what sort of pips you're in profit, but if you're 30 pips or more in profit, I suggest you modify your stop up to entry to protect yourself going forward. Okay, just a suggestion there. Okay, now gold is what they say, playing silly buggers. It's, yeah, as I said, leave the bloody thing alone. We got a trade out in 1985. We got to 2000. 2013 was the expectation. A lot of analysts saying, look, it's going to hit the It's looking strong. That's going to go up. And then all sorts of strength of the dollar came in. It forced it down. This has been kicked, like I mentioned earlier on the week, like a football, but with the fundamentals coming out. The variables are too much on gold. I'm still leaning to the upside. There's no doubt about it. I'm not looking at selling this. I'm looking at buying it. I'm just a bit nervous because of fundamental issues are quite frankly outside of my control. We are aware of them, but it's technical analysis which we can control. Fundamental coming out and reactions to it and what they're going to be. It's complete crystal ball gazing. Nobody can control that. And that's the problem at the moment. And it's seen by yesterday's indecision capital there. Look at that yesterday's candle. Didn't know what we're supposed to be doing. It went right up to around about the 2,000 mark. Yeah, 2,000 mark. Came right down here and then bounced again. So we're still in that trade if you're still in, going back for a few days now. At 1985, I think a lot of guys at 2000, the round figure.
All right. Bayahluleka lapha ke sithi.
Hello, Tola.
Yeah, so the guys at 2000 would know it's a round figure, getting a bit nervous, taking the profit, halved their position or modified their stop and have been knocked out in the profit. Is anybody still in gold, by the way? I do see upside, but I'm a bit nervous about joining coming to the weekend. So many things can happen. But otherwise, I do see upside if you're not in it. Anybody still in gold from the signal or all out, hopefully in the profit? Well, I'm not saying any yeses, so I'm giving you all that. Hopefully in the profit. Good. So yeah, clearly, technically, it's a buy. Overall, I agree. I'm just nervous because that going into the week, I'm not nervous. But if you're braver than me, anyone want to look at it? I'm sure you're talking did it. Hopefully, in the profit. Hitting SL, that's not good enough. It might be SL, might hit the SL in the profit. Not necessarily bad news to hit the SL. Remember that. But you're still in it, are you? Well, just hold on, probably. You'll just hold on. What do you think, Ken? Do you want to join it now? I'm a bit iffy for fundamentals, not technically fundamentals. Do you want it? Unless you want to sell it. I certainly don't want to sell it. You might want to sell it. What do you want to do? Anybody, what do you want to do with gold? Sod all or buy it or sell it what? Yeah, I hope we're all agreed on buy, yeah. Do you want to buy it now? We can certainly get a risk reward, I'm pretty sure of that. So look, but just bear in mind, it's going to be close till Tuesday and fundamentals, I'm you know, could come off a little bit more. I'm not sure. That's $15. We need a decent stop. Make it 65, 1965 stop. We can squeeze a wider one. Where's that? $40. Oh, that's perfect. $40 stop, so we maybe even get it down to 20. Yeah, you even make a 1960 stop. Anyone want to do that? Should I put it up? Have a look at it if you want. Make it a wide stop. Rather have the wide stop, we've been on about this morning, let's just do it. 1960, and then we can take it up to and take it up to this area here. Oh, that's really pushing your luck. Maybe we can take it up here. 2022, there we are. 2022. Pushing it a bit, get right up there. You certainly need yields to come down, the dollar to do weekend, is that right? Push it up? Yeah, the dollar to weekend, yeah. But you get yourself a risk reward. But see, it's only $40 a micro anyway. So at least it's affordable. That's definitely a buy. It's just whether I'm just saying it's my negative, these bloody fundamentals stuck in gold around. Anyone want to do this? If you're in, please, as I mentioned, don't jump in again. Just for guys who are not in. Not just talking about the buying management income, it's whether you want to go in for it now or what. In other words, like I've just been saying, don't repeat myself again. Finally, I said, okay, let's do this. Do it. Why not? Gold. What's the price? Put 1982. I can't send it out to all the guys out there because we've already got a trade out there. And they don't think, oh, well, I'm more in, I'll go in again. They do that without thinking they're overexposed. They don't think, oh, well, I'm out of it now. Good idea, I'll go in again or whatever. That's what I've been discussing the other day. We've got to try and get people to come and broaden their skills, hone their skills while you're in. By coming into places like this, it's free of charge, to do it. And if you say, well, I haven't got the time to do it. Well, I haven't got the time to go study for a medical degree, but I want to become a doctor. It's a bit of a contradiction in terms, So you say a lot of people do buy the knowledge, they're just going to have it, and then they don't look at it. So it's not much point there. Anyway. All right, so we are. Hold on. I'll put down for Ken. We've already got one out, so cloudy mind. So that's Ken. Right, good stuff. If it doesn't, I've got his number and I'll just post it for you so you can send him poison pen letters. Okay. That's dated emails, not letters. But WhatsApps now, eh? Not even SMS anymore. Just a second, I'm just gonna, anybody new here? I think you all got this. I think you all got, I'm just gonna take 2 seconds though, because you should all have the economic calendar. Sometimes they don't, I don't know. I think we've all got my number. If you haven't got my WhatsApp number, if you don't want it, don't ask. But if you haven't got it, you want it, I'll print it for you. I think you've all got it, so don't just waste your time putting on again. I think you've all got the number. Please, if you haven't got any money and you haven't got any I'm doing on demo, I can't assist you. I can only assist you via your live accounts. Not 50 rand accounts either. Not me being hectic on it, it's just the fact that it costs the company money to have me, and I'm spending my time, which costs, on guys with virtually no money in their account. It's not profitable for the company to do it. So, I can only help those who want to take it seriously, like I mentioned. Do you think I'm right or wrong there, guys? I'm not kind of hectic. Do you think guys have got a chance to put a few $100 rand in their account? Do you think does anyone think they're adequately capitalized and got a few $100 rand in your account? Or do you think they should put in more? Not just me saying it. What do you think? Do you think you can make a good financial success on 500 or 600 rand? Anybody think you can be highly financially successful in international derivative markets with 500 or 600 rand? Who thinks that's getting likely? What do you think, Marnie? No comment? You need capital, yeah. You don't have to sort of sell your house, but you do need capital. You need to be able to diversify. Yeah. You need to be able to diversify. And quite frankly, you can't go into trades most of the time. You can on this one. If you can't go to trades if you've got most forex trades you won't be able to go into. No. It's like doing your weekly shop with 50 rand. You're a bit limited if you go to Checkers, yeah. Have you ever seen Dragon's Den? It's a UK reality show. I don't show you anymore now. Where there are 5 dragons are called. They're all multimillionaires. The guy pitches their business, and for a percentage in the business, they're looking for a certain amount of capital. Because they've got the idea, but they can't move forward with lack of capital. Same sort of principle. Capital, knowledge, and skill, Ken. Absolutely. Anyone thinks otherwise, I think they're going to end up being highly disappointed. Well, that's a very good point, actually, Marley. Yeah, they quietly put millions into a franchise, and the problem with that is they want to shift from Joburg to Durban or Cape Town or Bloem or wherever. Then they've got to now sell the thing, which takes time and they have to get the right price. Then they've got to find another one, which is a performance. You know, with this, all you need to do is pack your stuff in the boot and away you go. Totally mobile, wherever. You do need capital, but you don't need millions, man, that's for sure. And Ken actually brilliantly pointed out, I don't know, about a year ago, 6 months ago, I don't know where it was. And a lot of guys put a lot of money and think that's good enough. A lot of people think, got a lot of money, that's good enough. No, it ain't. If you don't have the knowledge, it just means you lose more. Hey, Ken, do you remember saying that? And you're spot on. Guys think they can buy their way out of trouble having more money, even though they don't understand what vehicle they're driving. And in the end, they take just bigger knock. I mean, money alone won't cut it. You've got to have you've got to have equipment, but you've got to have basic knowledge. And some of the guys who've been trading with quite large amounts as well, and for a while, send my name, keep contact, etc. Don't, and they send pop up with a question. I thought, you don't know that and you're trading. That's pretty scary. Yeah, that wasn't a complicated question. It was a pretty basic one, which if I was to put it out here, I think you'd all know some of it. Like what sort of lot size you need, and what's the standard lot? What is it? How many dollars per pip is it? Things like that. I think all of you guys would know that. And these guys, not large sums, and I have to ask that question and to take a deep breath. That's a very good point as well, Farney. Yeah, at least in theory, got the asset there. But what they sell the franchise for and what they get is another story. A lot of guys found out that they bought the franchise, didn't make a very good go of it, and then wanted to sell it and found they didn't quite get what they wanted for it. The ones like the Spurs and the the Ocean Baskets and whatever, that's slightly different. Kegs, and they're fairly well established ones, or Pick and Pay franchise or whatever. It's the smaller ones that go for a couple $100 grand, 200,000-300,000 rand, and cheaper ones that sort of thing. Those are all really usually when they want to go sell them, and again, like what they expected. The franchise sellers, a lot of the profits in there. So careful of the franchise as well. Basically, the good thing about a franchise owner, when he's selling them out, he's selling out lead generation. In other words, we'll sell you the franchise, you buy the actual product from us, and you run the business. You have to buy exclusively from us, whatever it happens to be, the hot dogs, the Boerewors rolls or whatever, you're going to buy from us. And your job is to really sell it, really. So you're doing the selling for them, and that's the hard part. The trouble with these cheaper franchises. Okay, let's do that. Okay, go for it, Ken.
Hey, mate.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
you see, looking at the gold, that pattern, those small wicks at the bottom, that's where the perfect entry is. I've been looking at this, studying this for a while. And also with the CHFJPY, I was looking at those wicks. And when the price was at about 149,300, 149,200, because of lack of confidence, I hesitated going in, and I knew that it's going to shoot up, but also I thought it's a change of direction. You see, because there was no trading room yesterday, I hesitated. I had no one to ask. I don't know why I didn't give you a call, because it was playing right at the bottom there. Same thing a few days ago happened with the Euro USD. So if we can nail this pattern of getting the habit of getting perfect entries, I think we're going to make a whole lot more profit.
Yeah, I agree with all that, Ken. Yeah, I know it's a day off, but I mean, I wasn't sending it. Well, of course they can buy it there, Ken. So it's been a problem there. I might have had the computer on, taking a bit of a break, but obviously the market keep an eye on it. I've got my phone handy, so you could, and I can take me 5 seconds if I need to. computer to fire it up. But I'm experienced enough now. I can get a general idea by just going to the phone, getting an idea anyway. You could just drop me a WhatsApp and say, what do you think of this? And I said, yeah, I don't to change the direction. It's got to get down here to change direction. It's still, well, no, there's no way to change direction. A better price. And that's a pity because, as you say, you were confident enough you're going to do it, but you're on your own. The confidence suddenly disappeared. Now you missed out. So I have no problem with that. No, absolutely no problem with that. If you call me after 8 o'clock at night, so it's not because I'm being churlish. I tend to be an early riser, early sleeper. And 8 o'clock might be pushing it, but I'm normally snoring around about 9 plus. Depends, but now I'm usually asleep. Well, I usually go to bed early-ish during the week, maybe not because the weekend, but during the weekend I'm usually up about 6ish, sometimes earlier during the week. So if I don't answer, not being churlish, probably gone to sleep or something. Yeah. And by the way, during the day as well, if you don't get older, if you're going to sleep. No, I'm just joking. I'm back in the evening. But yeah, I wouldn't have had a problem with that, Ken. Plus, you're a regular player. I mean, of course I'd have responded, no problem. It's the guys who ring up with about 200 rands, say they want me to go on and do a couple hours Zoom, teach them how to trade. So they're 200 rand to 2,000 by the end of the week. That's when I'm not quite as helpful as I maybe should be. I think a polite way of saying, let's sort of face a bit of reality here. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you entirely. Oh, thank you, Nzo. Thanks for reminding me. Okay, it's going to be quiet now. Now, before I go into this, remind you, it's very important. If you see a trade idea or you want to discuss a trade or you're in one you're not sure about, that is a trading room, which means it takes precedence. I will stop any explanation, go into that immediately. So just remind me of that. If I'm looking at the chart, I might not see it down there. It's on the other screen. So you just unchip and say, Roger, just read my chat line quickly. Some of that reminder. And oh, yes, sorry. And I'll stop the meeting and go to that. That takes precedence. So you're all aware of that. So if Ewan suddenly comes in, I'm in the, I don't know, the Euro CAD. Should I hold on? Should I get out? Should I modify stop loss? Or should I buy it? Or what do you think? Bang, stop and go into that. You get the idea. Okay. I normally use the euro dollar. You can use a NAS or whatever. You need wider gaps between the two. The bottom line is, I normally go to the 15-minute for this one. And let's say today is Friday. It's 2:30. The non-farm jobs report payroll figures are being released. The data released at 2:30. So I will be starting at 2 o'clock, all things being equal, unless the meteors hit me on the head. Go on till around about 3ish on Friday afternoon. So we'll be doing a Zoom session at 2 o'clock, but not 4 as normal, but 2 o'clock starting on Friday. The idea is new guys coming in. We usually get about 100, and that's about the maximum, just over that we can take anyway. So to join me for this trade. That being as it may, please, if you're on a demo or you've only got a couple of rand your so account, don't need to, because you're taking up space as somebody who would like to trade now can't get in, because you can't trade a few hundred rand, basically. If you don't agree with me, and some guys say, oh, I'm taking my bids to another broker. Like, I don't be rude, but like, what is this? You know what I mean? So let's just be realistic on this. So how it works is we don't know what the release is going to be. We saw the jobless claims were up. So it's like the non-farm's going to be up, or you see the ADP coming up Wednesday, automatic draft to processing is going to be up on Wednesday. Looks like it'll be up. So I think I'm going to do a buy trade, get it in before. Too risky. I've seen many times the jobless up, the ADP up, and then suddenly, for some reason, the jobless is actually the opposite. So don't try and get cute in the prediction. It's a 50-50 flip on it, and you don't know the reaction. It might be exactly as expected. It might be a large difference, and even with a large difference, it might not be quite the jump as expected. The reaction, as well as the figures, are complete unknown until it occurs. And don't ask opinions, because it might prejudice you or bias you in your specific reaction. Rather, accept it's an unknown. So what do? You do not place the trade within 5 minutes, sorry, more than 5 minutes beforehand. So make sure you know how to place it, so you've got time to do it, because you don't want either the buy or the sell stop to be triggered before the release, clearly. Okay, right. So now we're going to do it, the 15 minutes. Okay, What you do first of all is you go to euro dollar, which got up now, and then you go to it. Now the volumes you've got to work out. The volume you use, you've got to know what volume it paired to risk. Now that's very difficult to quantify because we're not putting a stop loss or a TP in. Remember that we are not, repeat, not putting an SL or TP in. You only put that in after the release of the figures because one is a stop loss and the other. Okay, so in other words, if you're going a long and a short on the other side, that is sort of your based in stop anyway. So you got to work it out. So I think you can work it out. You say 90, but I'm going to give you another one. I think you can work it around about $80 a micro. There's just a ballpark figure for you, sort of a thumb suck if you like. Say around about 80 rand a micro. So you're going to work out what you're prepared to risk at 80 rand a micro. I hope you can do the maths on that. If you can't, go and buy a maths course. 80 rand a micro. So you work out your volume, you put it in there. I've got that up for whatever reason. I think myself probably a little bit bigger than that, probably about 0.2. Anyway, whatever I do is not relevant. You've got to work out your volumes and you put that volume in there, you've worked out for yourself. Don't ask me 10 minutes before the release figure, what volume should I use? Well, first of all, I have absolutely no idea because you give me no data. How do I find that? I'm going to stop the whole show, go into the MT5 admin, find you, put it in, blah, blah, blah. That takes a couple of minutes as well. So, you know, what volume should I put in? I mean, I have no idea. That's your job to know what you're prepared to risk. When I go shopping on Wednesday, what guys do you think I should, on Friday, what money do you think I should spend in Pick and Pay? How do you know? It's me, my job to know what I'm about to pay. So you work out your volumes, work out plus or minus $80 a micro. Right, now you've worked out your volume, you know that. Then you're going to put a buy stop in. So you go to pending order, and then you go to buy stop, and you put it 10 pips above the buy order, not 10 pips above the sell, 10 pips above the buy order. So you're going to put in there, it's going to be 1.0998. Is that correct? And then you place the order. I'm going to get knocked in now. Better not be doing it. Place the order, right? Better make sure I'm not kicks and just show it here now. So there it is, right? So there it is. That's the buy stop. Then you go back. This is about 5 minutes before, and make sure neither trigger. It shouldn't be 5 minutes beforehand, simply because it's very, very quiet trading leading up to the news release, the data release. Very, very quiet trading. So you shouldn't get to, but just make sure you ain't. Put your volume in, do exactly the same thing, pending order, but this time you're putting a sell stop. Simple as that. Then your sell stop will be 10 pips below the sell price. Clearly that's going to be 1.0976. What else to do this right? Sorry about that. 1.0976. Sell stop, that's correct. No stop loss, no TP, place your order. Now you've got a buy order above the market, so or below the market. Let's say it's bad for the dollar. If it's bad for the dollar release, clearly the euro will go up. So that will go up. How far it'll go up? No idea. Depends on whether it's exactly the same or the disparity between the two. If it's a small difference, not so much. A massive difference, enormous jump. So let's say it's an enormous difference and it weakens the dollar dramatically. Clearly, it won't go down, it'll go up because it's the euro dollar, not the dollar euro. Okay, it shoots up. Okay, then immediately you right click there and you delete it. You delete it. If you don't do that, you go to your Dewberry down here and you go to your volumes and you go to the opposite one was not filled. Please remember this one, deal income. You didn't do it last time. Delete it. You got me. So you immediately delete the opposite order before you do anything else. If it comes off and it's very good for the dollar, the euro weakens, so it will go down. Then you immediately go and delete this one here, delete, okay? And then you write it down. Now it's coming down nicely. Let's say you're on the 1 hour chart, it's coming down nicely now. Then you can put your stop loss in. If it's not 10, 20 pips away, maybe 40 pips away, or maybe 50, I don't know. Make it 50, give it a chance. If it's down maybe 100 pips, maybe you can put it 20, 30, 40, 50 pips in profit, your stop loss, and then write it down. Remember, if you've got these, all you do is go right click and you click on trade levels, you'll see it there. And you can actually physically move it. Just hold the mouse on it, left click, hold it down, just drag it down or up, whichever way. So once you got your stoppers, you can drag it up and follow it till you eventually stopped out or whatever. I'll still be in, obviously, up, but I'm not knocking off there, and you can see it. And you'll say, what's happening? We see the dollar is falling or rising a lot. I think it's moving. Should I take it now? It's coming back a bit or whatever. So, no, I think I'd be right just to hold it. You got your stop protecting you in a profit because the difference is quite large. And I think it's just a bit of profit taking movement down before it slides in the right direction again. Might as well grab some more out of it. So we got that concept. We've all done pretty well the last couple of months doing it. When most of the time, the figures have come on the CPI on the non-farms as expected. That's unusual. Normally, get a reasonable disparity. Get more disparity. We should get a quick, nice Friday afternoon profit to put a good smile on your face going to the weekend. And the guys who tried it, did it properly, didn't make a cock of it, basically, have actually had a happy days doing it. Okay. Every Friday, first Friday of the month. The guys in the room here, Dirk's not here at the moment, but I know some guy, and Dirk particularly did very well after. He's done the last 4 or 5 of them and done very well indeed. So if we get a big disparity, which I hope we do, you see a decent, I've seen 150 pips done the first couple of minutes. It's an absolute beaut. So, right, 5th of May it comes out, yeah. And don't delete the wrong one. True. So, anybody not got that? It's not that complicated. Everyone got that? It's worth coming on. If you got the Tom, you haven't, well, you haven't got the Tom. But if you got the Tom, it's worth coming on. Hang on, get this out of the way. Don't just get cracked in shit. So just get out of the way there. Don't get taken up. Have you got the concept now? The dollar strengthening, zero's coming off. Have you got the concept? And Zuzo and anybody else there? Anybody not got the concept?
Just want to make sure I understand, Roger. So you're saying that stop loss and buy stop and sell stop, right? 10 pips above, right? And then let's say it shoots up, and the dollar goes down, obviously, and then you're saying that the sell stop you delete.
You delete, yeah. So if that shoots up, well, it's going down now. Let's say that the farm has just come out. Let's pretend it's a nice red candle, to give an example. It's come off nicely. So, and your sell stop was here, right? Your sell stop was here. Pretend you're nicely in and you're doing well. It's coming down. You immediately delete this guy here, delete, got rid of it. And you ride this, this won't exist now because you're already in this month. This thing was up here when it was triggered. You ride it down, then you go to your stop loss and then you put one in. I'll be on there then. You say, where should I put it? Now I'll check. You probably see me do it myself. You'll see what I'm doing on the screen. I'll be doing it. So you can follow me if you like. Now that's the trouble in Tom B. Again, emotion, nerves, this sort of thing, it plays a massive role in trading and does often end up making silly mistakes. I always think it's such an unfair thing in life. You've got old John Smith there, who's a multimillionaire. He goes to the casino. He doesn't need the money. He doesn't need it. And he gets lucky. And then you get to Mary Smith, who really desperately needs the money and gets unlucky. I don't know why it's that way around, but it seems to be the way of life, yeah. But yeah, make sure you get it right, because I do know for a fact some guys in the last few times lost it. And I've tried out, how the hell do you manage to do that? I think they're too shy or nervous to explain, which is a pity, because then we can discuss and iron out why it went wrong so they don't do it wrong the next time. Because clearly, if they use the mechanics of the trade, they'd have made a profit. There's no ways they made a lot. So clearly that is a definite case, not the market's fault, it's the individual traders themselves' fault. And it's usually either panicking, not putting in, taking too quick, or doing something crazy, putting a limit in instead of a sell limit instead of a stop. I don't know. But yeah, and remember, even if you need a bit more time to find the place of trade, you're a bit nervous. A few minutes before that, as long as you've got the trade levels visible, so you can always, if it starts getting too close to getting filled before the release, you can still move them. You can still move them, chuck them around. You just go there and drag it up a bit, just drag it up a bit, and drag the other one away or whatever to keep it in that sort of area. But don't forget, as you quite rightly said, shooting down, right click there. If you don't know how to do that, knock it off. We'll just go to the volumes, do that, and just close the damn thing. All you do then, you close it, so one's not running anymore, the other one will be in. So you'll have no pending orders. One's been cancelled, the other one's already been filled, and it's going that direction. Then you can go in and put your stop loss in and write the thing down. And let's say your stop loss is in, it's screaming off. You don't have to keep sitting down there. You just drag it as it goes, drag it as it goes, drag it as it goes, till you eventually stopped out. Or hang on, it's still doing well. I'm going to leave it run. I keep my 30 pips away. I might get a bit more, and I'm going to the loo. I'm going to shoot out a minute or two, come back, still doing well. Maybe drag it down the normal trading area. That's up to you. Use a bit of common sense on that. Anyone not understand the mechanics of it? I'm just going to knock that off. Don't you forget it's there. You know? Come on, can't knock it off now. There we go.
Hey, mate. Hey, mate.
Yeah.
I must say, all these quick things that you are saying, they are a lot easier on a cell phone, a smartphone. Just like adjusting the stop loss, you know, you just put a long key press on the trade, and then the option comes. All your options come. They say you want to modify. Do you want to, you know, all those options. Same as doing this, closing this trade during that action. If you have your smartphone, obviously you will long key press on the trade that is not moving, the one that is not active, and then the option comes, close, delete, or adjust, or all sorts of things. I think it's a lot easier while you are watching on your computer screen, because some of these things can be a little bit difficult when you are under pressure. You must right click that and something pops up and you are watching the screen, you know. But I think when you have your smartphone, your iPhone on your hand, it becomes a lot more easier. I don't know.
Thanks. Really, that guy, fabulous. Thanks again, Ken. I love having you here. I've never thought of that, I'll be honest. Remember, I've been doing this for a while, so I've not don't have quite the same kind of nerves. Ken is 100% fabulous piece of advice. He's more experienced in the earlier stages I've forgotten about. I think I've never even thought about that. So there you are, guys. Heard him? Fabulous piece of advice. Have it on your computer, and you can be fiddling in your hand with your cell phone, and a lot easier you can be watching on there if you're not sure how to drag it up or down. Absolutely. Do you hear that, guys? And if you say, well, I don't have my phone, I don't know how to use the phone, well, go and get it on your phone and know how to use my phone, because I have it on my phone as a backup. I think that's a really, let's say, another word, fabulous piece of assistance. Thank you. Hope you all got that. And don't ask me to train you on the cell phone. You can play around yourself. You can get a platform train. It's not that difficult. Just go onto the demo account and spend half an hour, a little bit more if you want, just playing around. Not that the market's closed, clearly, but when the market's open, play around with it on the demo, and just to fiddle with it. Basically, it's not that difficult. So you should be able to, if you're a youngster, probably learn about 5-10 minutes. You know, handle it. That's all you're after, and then yeah, that's not a bad idea. I never thought it before. I think it's quite a valid comment. I won't, because I'm quite comfortable where I'm doing it, but newer guys to get that confidence can watch on the laptop and then adjust on the phone. I think it's a great idea. But yeah, remember, a lot of people say I'm doing well with them. You're not doing well with them, it's fake money. The idea, don't waste your dem money. Always go to 0.01 on the demo. Don't worry about 0.05. You're not trying to make bloody monopoly money. 0.01, go in, get out, modify, get out, try this one, try buy stop, then get out of it. Play around till you've button filled, then leave the bloody thing alone. Yeah. Have we got that clear? Because a lot of pilots say, yeah, I've got it, and then immediately go and do something wrong because they haven't got it. If you're not sure, clarify with a question. Now, if you place it on the laptop, for sure, if you want to place them, yeah, it's easy. Well, it doesn't matter where you place them. We're not talking about placing, that's not the issue. We're talking about when it starts to move, the heartbeat goes up. You might click the wrong button for the laptop, so watch it carefully. And he's just found through experience, it's easy on the cell phone. I'll take your word for it. As long as you've got the concept of what he's talking about there. But that's to me what the demo's for, just to get the hang of how to play with the how to get comfortable and competent at placing, closing, modifying, partly closing trades. Not there to see, oh, hang on a minute, this is it, I'm doing well. And it's self-chronology. I know, I'm not getting funny. I've done that myself when I started. And so I told the lady friend, hey, look, I'm doing well. So that's in the demo, Roger. Come and tell me when you're doing on the live. Shut me up. Yeah, we have a habit of fooling ourselves. Sometimes it's good, sometimes not so good. Just use it, just do it a micro. Just go to micro, you're not trying to make money, you're trying to get the hang of how the damn thing operates. And when you feel comfortable with it, then you'll be extremely confident on when you go to the live. You don't have a bag of nerves, press the wrong buttons. Or place the trading, whatever you want to do here. I find just having the thing up here, you just have the trade levels up and just drag it down and right click and delete the value. Anyway, it's up to you. Whatever, it doesn't really matter as long as you're comfortable that you're thinking clearly and you're not panicking. That's the worst thing. Okay, good. Good stuff. Any questions on the straddle trade? Because those who've got some time to join, got a quiet moment or two here, you might as well be confident now. And then if you do join 10 minutes late, it doesn't matter because you know how to place the thing. What I don't want is guys with no idea and about 20 past 2 decide to come and join us. And then they say, what volume should I do? How do I do that? Can you show me again? Well, I haven't got time now. You know what I mean? I've seen guys join after 2:30. Well, it's a bit bloody late then, you know? Don't be rude here, but actually quite annoys me that. They want to make money, but they don't even want to learn how to do it. Yeah. I always think of Marnie on this. Yeah, I want to be an engineer. I think he's a mechanical engineer, I think he said. I can't bother going to this bloody university. It's a bit boring. Stop that. I still want to come up, but I'm going to be a mechanical engineer. No, you won't. Unfortunately, it's a pain in the ass, but it's part of the grind when you get going. But she worked 100%. I think I've got a feeling she's thought this out. Marnie talked about why she wants to do this, because she suddenly sees the benefits. You can crack this, the benefit changed my life. I used to be the merchant navy. Now they do with this. I've got an economic background. I thought when UK merchant navy started, not quite defunct, not far off it. It's too expensive. There's highly qualified guys from Spain and Poland and other areas. Quite frankly, economies aren't as large as the UK, so they become cheaper, basically. And so why you as a ship owner employ a guy at 1,000 units a month when you get a perfectly competent person at 800 or 700 units a month? So yeah, and then I got into this and I thought, well, I didn't know about this before. Remember, it was a lot more difficult. I didn't have all the technology you have today. Nothing like it. Remember, I did 20 years ago. Nothing like this sort of carol. No trading rooms or any of this. And the benefits of this is you need, preferably once you're doing it properly, an extra monitor. I use a TV screen, by the way, a big TV screen, as well as your laptop. Decent fiber if you can get it, internet. That's the tool of the job. Obviously, you acquire the knowledge, have a bit of capital, and once you're confident, you know what you're doing, getting consistency, you can up the capital. You know, you might be starting with a few grand, but once you've got the confidence and you're doing it, you'd be surprised where the money comes from. You'll find it. If I guarantee you, government guarantee, black and white, unbreakable law contract, if you put 100 grand in, I'll double it in a week. You'd be surprised how quickly you find 100 grand. Before, oh, I can't afford that. Oh, yes, now I suddenly can. You'd be surprised where you get the money from. You know what I mean? Somebody really wants something. So, yeah, and it's totally portable. Marnie lives at, not where she lives now, but let's say she want to shift to Cape Town and she will live there to, I don't know, Spain or Gibraltar, I don't know, wherever. All you need is get another internet connection. And if you want to go to Joburg to Durham or Durham to Cape Town, your business is not a KFC, it's not a Spur franchise, just put the thing in the boot and away you go. And away. Take it with you on holiday if you want. Not much of a holiday, stay with this all the time, but you have it on your phone, you keep an eye on it. If you go down to the beach or whatever you do, don't get the sand on your phone, but you get the idea. Yeah, quick peek when your husband is boring you at the restaurant, saying how great he is. Then you have a quick peek under the table and keep a polite smile on your face to check your trades. Hey, hope your husband's not listening. I'm only joking. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, good. Right. Let's just have a look. Is the NAS coming off? Because I think you took the sell stop on the NAS. It's trying to, eh? So yeah, it's trying to come off and a bit more profit. That's good. Euro GBP. I missed that one. Maybe I don't know. I missed it. Good. Tell you to do it. I missed it last time. I've done it myself. Okay, thank you. Where can put the stop? I forgot. Tell you to do it. I forgot my bloody self. 87.82. That's a bit tight. I'll make it a bit wider. That's a bit tight. That 87.82. Where should I put that? Just a second. It's still responding, starting to go up with good stuff. Bloody thing. I'm put out of the way. What the hell? 87.15. It's a bit wider than what the hell? 87.15 Euro GBP. It wasn't it? 15. TP, what was the TP? 89.62. What's the risk on that? 100? 100, that's nothing. I'll be enough. I'm buying it. Mark. Correct. No, it's not. Way around. Time's about to remind me, hey, one way around there. Is that right? Before you press, just a quick check. Okay. Yeah, that goes. Often miss the trade. Why do you go in your own trade? I forgot. You've been explained to everyone else. You've got to do it himself. Gold. I'm start looking towards the gold, to be honest. So I'm not in that talking about it. I've been too chicken on it, but I'm going to do it. Gold. What was it again? $20, isn't it? 60, call it $20. At 0.1 is $20. Is that right? What's $20? It's about 108. What's that? 360 rand, eh? 360 times 6, 0.0, 0.5. That's it, 2.2 in it, yeah. Okay, some in those. Yeah, those do. Okay, yeah, where were we? WTI again. What's WTI doing? Haven't even done that actually. WTI. Come off from that, I was going to get a better price. Where should I put this? Stop again on WTI. Do this one. 81.20. That's about $3, isn't it? Yeah. What, $3? So 0.1 is 10. So that's $30. What's $30? 1,800 rounds 100, so 0.3. Or 0.35. 80, make it 81 on the nail. No, these 84 the other one. 71 on the nail, beg your pardon. Got the wrong thing down here. I've got the wrong figures down here. I'll put some 80 instead of 70 here. Can't be. Okay. What happened there? Okay. 70, no, what was it? 71, isn't it? Yeah, 0.0. And what's the other one? 84, is that right? 84. Doesn't look right to me. I'll have to do, shan't use that. That's right, isn't it? Now, where's just light it up there? It's the wrong place. Thought that didn't sound right. Pretty hard, guys.
The TP on WTI was 81.40.
Yeah, well, that's right. 81. I've got a total. I've got a bunch of BS down. Just a second. Staring at 80, it's better. 71, 80, and 81.4, that's better. Got 80 on the brain. Haven't been putting down the wrong ones here, sorry. Okay, and what was it? Okay, right, sorry. Got the wrong thing down. I've done that before as well. Put the stop on TP the wrong way around when I wrote it down. Okay, what confuses me is when the signal's sent out, they'll put the SL second and the TP first. No, I would put the SL first. Okay, so let's see, get a bit of a bounce on there. Okay, so remember, you can always right click, go to your trade levels, and you can always just drag it up or down or whatever you want to do. So if you want to modify your stop loss, let's say it does come right, goes up there, just go drag it up. Okay. All right. Stare all day, so get rid of it. Just don't want to stare all the time. You get that not staring all the time, because that's what feeds the panic in your mind. You need to check it. I haven't got a problem with that. But staring at it all the time. Look, that was up in the positive, now it's down the negative. So don't be staring at it all the time. It screws your head in. Okay, right. Yeah, so anything else to add? It's nearly 11 o'clock.
Can
Yeah.
we read the GBP CHF?
Oh, yeah, I thought about that. Thank you. GBP, CHF, and all the NZD, JPY as well. Yeah, scared money doesn't work. Quite right. That's why I say you've got to be able to comfortably take that risk. If you can't, if your head's not right on taking that risk, you can't do it. As simple as that. You've got to say, if I lose $1,000 or 500 or 100 or whatever it is, you don't like it, but you can handle it. If you can't handle it, you're in the wrong business. It's like I'm too scared to have an accident. Well, then walk to work. GBP CHF, it seems to be holding there, doesn't it? It's the 4 hour. It's not really getting going either way. You guys still want to take it? Seems to be console around these levels. I want the stop out of the way up here. That's the only thing. I want it right out of the way, as mentioned up there. And we use a weekly to get a risk reward down here somewhere. I'll put it up anyway. If you don't want to take it, that's your choice. If you're
Endeavour.
You're still in, don't do it, obviously. Sorry, wrong one. There we are. Take it down here. Might just work. 105.85. What's that? Not talking rubbish. What was that? Where 105 from? 1.1026. 1 point on the weekly. This is what I want to make. Make it 1.1.
Is this EJ strategy?
No, this is the normal one. Look at EJ, I forgot about it. Look at it if you like. No, it's not going to work. So we need a slightly wider stop. Sorry, tighter stop. I mean, we make it slightly tighter. That's really cutting it a bit thin. It's cutting it a bit thin, but it's got to get through this guy and this guy to get stopped out. I don't see why that should happen, but famous last words. But no, look at EJ. No, it's not EJ, it's not below the 10. If you're below the 10, that would be an EJ one. Okay, so that moves below the 10, you can do an EJ one. You all know how the EJ works. Now 50, we did 30, we'll go back to 50 pip stop, no TP, trading stop and what until it stopped out, it goes back above that 10-hour moving average again. Okay, so do you want to leave this one or do you jump in the gun a bit? Still consolidating. And don't forget, 200 odd rand a shot this. So do not do this. You got less than 2.5 grand. If you've got less than 2.5 grand, well, on top of it, even if you have, make sure you've got enough free margin to take the trade. Enough free margin and 2.5 grand, absolute minimum. Otherwise, don't take the trades and have enough money to be overexposed. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, that 2.5 or more, plus enough free margin if you've got more than 2.5. If you go below that, you're overexposed. If you go in 1,000 rand, do it. That's 22%. That's grossly overexposed. Remember, I work on 1.5 to 2%. 22% is hectic. You'll wait on it, okay. So we'll leave it for the time being, okay. No money, I disagree with you. The best advice I ever got was scared money, it makes no money. That's the second best advice. The best advice I ever got was from myself. You've got to know how to build a man's ego and sustain. Come to the weekend, start to talk rubbish again. Anybody want to do this? Leave it. I'm a bit 50-50 on it. I'm maybe 55 in favor, but not 65-70 in favor. But what I do like about it, I've managed to get a stop above all those MAs. So the beauty is it's going to be seriously terrible for Swiss franc going forward. And they expect increased interest rates coming up as well, which will strengthen it. The pound is well, they're coming up in interest rates as well, but one will offset the other. But it's going to be a serious bound up there if it's going to stop us out. But you want to leave it, okay? All right, leave it is the name of the game. Going, gone. Or leaving it. The other one we looked at and said DJPY. Anything happening on there? It started to come off. Didn't quite get to our entry. You want to get in around about that level there. Didn't quite get there. Maybe leave it going to the weekend. Might miss out. Your choice. You want to do it later on. You got the calculator. You know how it works. That's your decision. But I think maybe you don't want to rush this going to the weekend. Maybe leave it. I think the gold will leave. Just keep that for trading room guys. Plus, I think we've got one out at the moment anyway, so we can't send that out. So I think we'll stick to the status quo.
Your feeling on the Euro JPY? I thought originally on an EJS, but I think it's retracting quite badly now.
Well, certainly there. Let's look at the 1 hour. Well, yeah, I prefer to get in around about these levels, you know, somewhere like that. But it's coming off, you're right. What's a 15-minute doing? I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure. Certainly trying to take this guy out here on the weekly. Certainly trying this one. My problem is it's moved up so much. It's just moved up so very much. 250 pips in 11 hours seems seems it's like to get a bit of a pullback. I prefer to join a better price point. I think it might be some more profit taking before we can get a bounce. I'm personally nervous to join here. Nothing more than that. Not really science involved there. I think a little bit nervous, Jane. After 250 pip rise, you might get a bit of a pullback. I think the Japanese yen going forward might go into next week, start strengthening a bit. I'm a bit nervous of that one. And I think the ship has sailed on the EJS. Remember, guys, you all know the EJS is where you look at the daily, see if it's above the blue and the brown line, then it's looking at buying. Nothing to do with anybody else. It's purely a trading concept, this. And if it is, then you go to the hourly, and if it's above the 10-hour moving average, you go through. But you've got to use, again, a bit of common sense. If it's, this is how far above the 10 is. It's about, as we speak now, it's 66 pips above. You want to get in about 10 pips above, plus minus confirmation. That's too far. That ship still. But I'd like to look at it again on Tuesday. If it comes back to the 148 mark, I think we'll get probably a decent one. Depending on what the yen's doing then. A little bit wary of the end of the month. Okay, guys, any questions just before we close up for the weekend?
Not from our side. Thank you very much. Again,
Brilliant.
a very informed session. I appreciate it. Have a good
Thank
week.
you. Thank you. Good stuff. Hope you're all informed as well. Hope you're all learning. Hope some clarity is coming through the fog. And those can make it, catch you next week. Tuesday it is, don't forget. And have a great one, as I say. Cheers.